Alright, so this is less of a news video and more of a discussion because we knew this was coming. The leaks are insanely accurate in this game. But Grand Cross just posted this video on their Twitter. It's like a teaser for in 3 days we get a collab. If you go on, if you play JP and you open the, I guess I can show. If I go on my JP, you saw the login has a countdown as well, which means a collab is coming. And but we knew this, right? We knew this. We had a collab leaked. How long ago at this point? 3 weeks ago. Tower of God is a new collab with 3 characters, and we also got confirmation by 7DS Leaks a few days ago. Again, I didn't cover this because we knew, right? Like, what am I gonna say? You guys know. But he did confirm that the characters that we are getting are, and I'm gonna butcher this really badly because I have not read Tower of God. I was thinking of reading it for this collab, but I didn't have time to. I'm gonna take a screenshot so you can see on screen. Alright, if you can read with me, it's not that bad. Vile Grace, Viol Grace, Ha Yuri Zahard, and Data Zahard. I thought the name of the protagonist. So this is supposed to be the protagonist, right? People told me this is the post time skip protagonist. I thought his name was something else. I guess I was wrong. But these are obviously the characters in the pictures. I thought his name was Bomb. I guess maybe the post time skip he changed his name. I don't know. I don't need the explanation. I'll probably read Tower of God one day, but I didn't have time before the collab. I think Yudi is the girl, and then Data is the yellow-haired boy. Now the big question was like, I don't know the series, right? Are they going to be considered as human or unknown? And that's something that even, I made the question. Apparently, even the people who are readers of Tower of God can't really tell me because they're like, I don't know. It will really depend on the devs, right? But the leaning towards is them being human. If they do end up being unknown, it's just because the devs just like giving unknown collabs. That's really it. But the consensus seems to be more towards them being human. So that would be pretty good. Because at the moment, in Grand Cross, I think one of the categories that needs the most love is humans. Like, okay, I just scrolled by giants and the the last usable PvP character was like Scotty. But, because Scotty's newer than the end, right? But humans is a broader category, like how big the category is. And you're telling me that it's like a team that's barely meta throughout the history of the game when 2 of the Sins are humans. Both Bond and Ascanor are humans, but whenever they're meta, it's like a very short period of time as a human. But like Bond, when he's meta, when he was meta, it was like Sins, mainly. He was meta for a little bit on the Sins on the human team, but it's mainly Sins. So I would like for a revamp on the collab, on the human team from collab characters, which is odd is there's 3 characters, right? Is one of them going to be free? Because usually the free character ends up being the support, right? If you go to the collab section here, maybe I should have done that. If you go to the free characters, right? My boy Cock here, he was bad when he released, but now he's a really good support for the Demon King game mode. Then you have Kizuna, God support. Kizuna is still like a gold stamp unit. We'll never have a unit like Kizuna ever again, which was a free God tier unit. And we had Ram, which at the time was the best back unit for Unknown. Obviously, Nasha came out afterwards, but at the time, like 20% basic stats for Unknown was crazy. And this thing, which wasn't ideal, but she's good for final boss farming, I guess. So, in any case, the free character from the collabs tend to be like supports. So I would like to see one of these collab characters be a back unit for humans, a basic stat buff for humans. 20% is a little outdated. Like, we've had 20% basic stat buffers for a little too long now, and we have 30% that exist. Nanashi. So it would be great to see one of the or the free character from the collab, if there is a free character, I hope so. Being a 30% for humans, similar to Nanashi, but we'll have to see. In any case, I'm excited to see how the meta is going to shift. People say that collab characters aren't as good and they don't last very long. It happens. Every character that releases is a bit of a gamble, you know, when you summon for it. Are they going to last very long? Because if you summon for ReZero and you pull the Milia, you got a character that lasted a long time, right? Very long time in the meta. But let's say you summoned for this thing, what's the name of it? Jobless Reincarnation. Yeah, like, she was really good for a little while. Like, she didn't last that long. She used to be actually usable though, like to this day. She's obviously not meta, but usable. So that's the thing, right? It's a bit of a gamble, right? Some characters look, well, dude, if you summon for Rimuru, dude, Rimuru's never gonna die. He's still usable somehow. Somehow, he's gonna watch is gonna get an LR. They're never gonna let him die. But yeah, it's a gamble, right? And that's like every time. Every time you summon for a new festival as well. Like, there are festivals like Estarossa that years and years later still happen to be usable. Like, you know, some characters you can tell by the design, but sometimes you just can't, you know. A lot of characters as well, they might end up being bad. Collabs are different because they get their holy relics when they come out, but like Merlin, she was like meta for a very short period of time, but now she's meta again because of the holy relic. But that doesn't count for collabs, right? Collabs get their relics straight away now. But you get what I mean. Like, King, dude, if you told me that King was gonna, you know, fall off the PvP meta a month after release, I would have laughed at you. You know how dominant he was when he came out? You couldn't play the game without him, pretty much. Like, if you played PvP without King, you lost. That's how good he was when he came out. And then a month later, this bastard released, and it was over for him. Like, just like that day, like one day was over. So, you know, you really can't tell. But yeah, collabs do have a harder time coming back to meta because they already have their holy relics at release, which doesn't help, right? Festivals, like that Trader Melee, I passed by the collabs. That Trader Melee can still come back. He can. Like, if he gets an obscene holy relic, that depends on the devs, right? He could make a comeback. Like, collab characters, after their expiry date runs out, it's pretty much over. But don't listen to people saying collab characters aren't worth summoning on. You're gonna tell me Albedo was not worth summoning on? Are you kidding me? Yeah, go do the Demon King event without her. Like, the difference of having her and not having her is insane for that event. It is just, collabs are good, you know. If you like Tower of God, don't hesitate on summoning because you think, oh, I should save for the festival. Now, if you do want to save for the festival, then do that. It's whatever. It's just a game, right? At the end of the day, it's just a game. But yeah, there's gonna be a festival a month after this collab, presumably. You know, that's when Mael came out, was February, end of February of 2023. So end of February, we should be getting a new festival. And I just touch on this. I think this would be a regular, but I'm thinking this is just, it has nothing to do with Tower of God collab, whatever. But I think the festival after the next one we're getting might be another original character, because that's when Hell came out. I think they might release a festival for Catastrophes, like that character from the last chapter of Catastrophes, the really hot one. That's what I'm thinking. But either way, let me know if you guys are summoning for Tower of God. I mean, obviously we don't know what the characters do. I assume they're gonna be good. Like, the last collab had good characters. I think Ainz was a miss, personally. Ainz was a big miss because he has the whole, like, he needs 6/6 to be usable. Like, at 6/6 he's still pretty good. But in that regard, I think it was a miss. But, like, Albedo was a big hit. Like, super good character. In Shoutier, although I wasn't the biggest fan of her design, she's pretty strong. So, any case, be ready.